Alright, I'm awake. How do these bloggers hold this? What's a good angle here? Whatever, y'all can hear me. Okay, so there's no aftermarket support as far as a roof rack goes for Silverados and Sierras. At least the new ones anyway. So, if I can't buy a Prinsu, I'm gonna have to make one. So, I'm not flush with tools, but I've made this work so far with some Harbor Freight goodness and a jigsaw. So, what I got here so far is the railing. Now, I've got two clamped together because I still got to finish out the second one for the other side. Now, it only occurred to me when I got this far to maybe document this shit so people ain't gotta innovate like I've had to, if you'd call this innovation. It's jerry-rigging at its finest. So, the first thing you want to do is put some painter's tape right here. Protect your paint because you're gonna have to be putting stuff against it for this whole process. Now, before you go out and buy your metal, you want something to make a template with. This was some shiplap that I had laying around. I think it's like 5 by 5.5 wide because it's 2021 and I have a wife. Shiplap. Yep. So you take it and with your tape there to kind of protect your roof, your whole piece should go up there. Now, through careful shimming, you're going to want to align the top of this board, whatever kind of template you're going to use, along with the level of the truck. Now, here's what I did. These are like $5 at Harbor Freight. I slapped this bad boy right here. Found my angle because, you know, your driveways might not be level and you need to take that into consideration. If it is and you throw a level on there, like a regular one, 6 foot, 3 foot, whatever, then you're good to go as well. But it's just something to keep in mind. So you throw that up there and you shim this board you have to the same angle. And from there, by the way, these are great for having something stand straight up right there without having to be worried it'll fall. Anyway, when you get your level, it's like $7 at Harbor Freight. You take this and you just kind of run it along. And what that's going to do is it's going to draw your line, your roof profile. And if you do it right, without it moving, you'll wind up with a pretty good estimation here. And from there, you can trace it on to your steel or aluminum, whatever you want to use. I used this stuff. It's 1/4 aluminum. It was 4 by 12. They come in 12-foot sections where I'm at Town and Country. And anyway, now you may notice after I got the profile out, I'm gonna have to do some magic here because what I didn't realize was 4 inches wouldn't be enough. So I've got some jerry rigging ahead of me to bolt 2 together. I'll probably buy another piece that's maybe 3 inches wide. I'm gonna make it look good, but it's gonna be more work. So if you just want the single piece running frames there, you're going to want wider than 4 inches. Another point, make yourself a marker once you start getting your profile cut out, because it's going to be easy for this to move around while you're going back and forth sanding this down to kind of get the profile estimated. Because I know I won't achieve perfection here, but I want to get close. I don't want people to be 5 feet away seeing that this was kind of jerry-rigged together. By the way, making these cuts, they can be done I'm just a lineman in Florida. I don't have a metal shop. By the way, here's the spoils. That's how much you're going to lose for our roof line. It's pretty pronounced for the aerodynamics and whatnot. Anyway, you are going to lose a lot of material here. I'll probably find a use for that later, but anyway, that's what I cut with. I've been through a few blades. It can be done. You just need to support it because it's going to be thin, because it will bend a little bit if between the heat that it's absorbing from the cut and any pressure you're putting on it. Both of these cuts took about an hour and a half of just patiently pushing this jigsaw along, trying not to heat it up too much, make the blades last long enough. Went through 5 of them total, but it was Harbor Freight blades, so that's $5 down the drain I can live with. If you know somebody with a bandsaw, like a freestanding bandsaw, not a portaband, like one that's like that tall, heavy as hell, make friends with them, because that would have been a lot quicker. Something pretty cool to point out, since I have these clamped together on that side and the other, thermal management's kind of becoming a thing. Because since I'm shaving down one side and not really the other's kind of just my template. As this shit heats up, you start to notice a gap. Now that just a minute ago, this was about 3 times as wide because it's expanding. Well, this one's really not. I really underestimated the amount of heat that shaving this amount of material off would produce, because aluminum's good at, you know, dissipation and transferring heat to air, but I guess this is just so thick that it just can't keep up with the amount of heat I'm generating from all this material removal. So every so often I'm having to stop. When I'm working on the ends, I gotta switch sides, as I can't hold one end anymore because, you know, I don't know the properties. I know it's got a lower melting point than steel, but I couldn't even tell you what freaking type of aluminum this is. I don't want to push it and warp anything, so I'll go from one side to the other, and right before I move to the other, I'll dip it in this bucket of water here, so it's not going in there super hot, but it also brings the temperature way down so I can remove more material.